EVs owners had enough and want to switch back to gas cars. Have you ever thought about why some people who own electric cars choose to switch back to gas-powered cars, even in California, which is known for being environmentally friendly? Are we really ready for an EV revolution, or are there some secret problems we need to solve first? Stay tuned to find out the interesting information. The research that was carried out by the University of California, Davis, and published in the journal Nature Energy provides essential insights into the ongoing problems that are present in the market for EVs, with a particular emphasis on the state of California between the years 2015 and 2019. The findings of this study shed light on the reasons why some owners of EVs switch back to traditional gasoline-powered vehicles. The research also highlights the critical impact that home charging infrastructure plays in the adoption and retention of electric vehicles. Context and the most important findings. The research looked at information provided by people who own electric vehicles in the state of California, which is well known for its forward-thinking approach to environmental issues and its relatively large charging infrastructure. According to the findings of the survey, 18% electric vehicle owners went back to driving gasoline-powered vehicles despite the favorable conditions. Likewise, 20% of those who own plug-in hybrid vehicles switched back to driving automobiles that were powered exclusively by internal combustion engines. Chargers in the home are an essential component. The significance of having the ability to charge devices at home is the most important fact that the investigation uncovered. One of the most important factors that determined whether or not owners continue to use electric vehicles was whether or not they had access to level 2 charging 240 volts in their homes. The regular level 1 charging, which operates at 120 volts, is slower and less convenient than the level 2 charging, which is faster and more comfortable. This makes it easier for owners to maintain their vehicles charged and ready for use. Obstacles facing the infrastructure serving public charging stations. In comparison to other states, California has a more established infrastructure for charging electric vehicles, yet the public charging network is still contending with difficulties. Either they are in need of repair or they are not located in a convenient location. Many public charging stations are present. This can be a disincentive for people who are considering purchasing an electric vehicle, because it takes a lot longer to charge an electric vehicle at a public station than it does to recharge a gasoline-powered vehicle. Many public charging stations are present. This can be a disincentive for people who are considering purchasing an electric vehicle, because it takes a lot longer to charge an electric vehicle at a public station than it does to recharge a gasoline-powered vehicle. Insights concerning statistics. According to the findings of the survey, nearly half of the individuals who had purchased another electric vehicle had access to level 2 charging at their residence. Contrarily, only 30% of individuals who gave up on electric vehicles had access to such resources. Because of this disparity, it is essential to have charging stations that are easily accessible at home. In addition, the research discovered that owners who did not have access to level 2 charging were 53% less likely to purchase another electric vehicle. Advancements and the reactions of the industry. In comparison to the middle of the 2010s, there have been substantial advancements achieved in both the charging infrastructure and the technology of electric vehicles. An increasing number of electric car manufacturers are incorporating home charging setups as part of the vehicle purchase package, which has led to an increase in the accessibility of at-home charging installations. In addition, contemporary electric vehicles are able to charge at a faster rate than their predecessors, which makes the ownership experience more straightforward. The problem with plug-in hybrid vehicles. The cessation of plug-in hybrids was another topic that was discussed in the study. This trend exemplifies the challenges that automobile manufacturers encounter when attempting to persuade customers to adopt an innovative technology. Plug-in hybrids, which combine a gasoline engine with an electric motor, have not received mainstream popularity. This may be due to the complexity of plug-in hybrids as well as the belief that they do not give the full benefits of either gasoline or fully electric vehicles. The way forward in time. In spite of these obstacles, the research indicates that the decade of the 2020s is going to be a revolution for electric vehicles. A good trend is indicated by the increasing commitment of automobile manufacturers to the production of battery electric vehicles and the expansion of charging infrastructure. Furthermore, the anticipated restoration of major tax incentives and refunds could further drive the adoption of electric vehicles. The importance of existing charging infrastructure in the home. Having an emphasis on home charging infrastructure brings to light a significant obstacle to the widespread adoption of electric vehicles. Having the opportunity to charge their electric vehicles at home is a deciding factor for many people who are considering purchasing an electric vehicle. If you do not have access to dependable home charging, the day-to-day operations of owning an electric vehicle become more difficult, which results in greater rates of discontinuation. The convenience of owning an electric vehicle is considerably improved with the installation of home charging infrastructure, particularly charger level 2 charging. A complete charge of an electric vehicle can be achieved overnight using a level 2 charger, which can provide a range of 10 to 60 miles per hour. when compared to the experience of relying entirely on public charging stations, which can be less reliable and more time-consuming. This convenience stands in stark contrast to the situation. In spite of the progress that has been made, the public charging infrastructure still has a number of shortcomings. Based on the findings of the study, it appears that public charging stations are frequently not positioned in a convenient location or are not operational. Moreover, the amount of time that is necessary to charge at these stations continues to be a considerable disadvantage. For example, even the most technologically advanced public chargers require approximately 30 minutes to deliver a large charge, whereas the process of recharging a gasoline-powered vehicle takes only a few minutes. On account of these constraints, there is an urgent requirement for more investments in public charging infrastructure. It may be possible to relieve some of these difficulties by increasing the number of fast chargers, making certain that they are well maintained, and strategically situating them in places that experience high levels of foot traffic. Industry developments and the reactions of manufacturers. In response to these issues, the automotive industry has responded in a variety of different ways. It is now possible for a number of electric vehicle manufacturers to provide consumers with packages that include home charging installations, which makes the transition to electric vehicles simpler for consumers. Further developments in battery technology have resulted in shorter charging periods and greater driving ranges, which have helped to alleviate some of the practical problems that are connected with the ownership of electric vehicles. In addition, the discontinuance of plug-in hybrids offers significant data into the preferences of consumers. When they were first introduced, plug-in hybrids were considered to be a transitional technology because they offered the advantages of electric driving while also providing the backup of a gasoline engine. However, the findings of the study indicate that consumers may have a preference for fully electric vehicles because they provide a simpler and more uncomplicated experience compared to vehicle ownership. Implications for public policy and prospective courses of action. The conclusions of the study have significant repercussions for those engaged in policymaking. Addressing the problems that are associated with charging infrastructure is absolutely necessary in order to ensure the continuous expansion of the electric vehicle market. Important policies include those that encourage the installation of home charging systems, those that expand public charging networks, and those that guarantee the dependability of these distribution networks. In addition, tax rebates and incentives play a vital role in encouraging the use of electric vehicles. These monetary incentives have the potential to compensate for the greater initial cost of electric vehicles, thereby making them more accessible to a wider variety of users. In order to encourage a greater number of individuals to switch to electric vehicles, policymakers want to evaluate the possibility of reintroducing or expanding these incentives. The more comprehensive context, making the advancement towards a sustainable future. As part of the global effort to reduce emissions of greenhouse gases and battle climate change, the shift from cars powered by fossil fuels to those powered by electric vehicles is an essential component. The findings of the study highlight how important it is to solve the practical constraints that prevent the adoption of electric vehicles in order to accomplish these environmental goals. The report offers a roadmap for enhancing the experience of owning an electric vehicle by concentrating on the most important problem, which is the lack of charging infrastructure. In order to encourage the widespread adoption of electric vehicles, it is vital to make sure that owners of electric vehicles have access to several charging options that are both dependable and convenient. In turn, this will help lessen our dependency on fossil fuels, which will contribute to a future that is more sustainable. The research conducted by the University of California at Davis and published in Nature Energy provides insightful information regarding the elements that influence the adoption and retention of electric vehicles. Through this research, the crucial relevance of home charging infrastructure is brought to light, as are the issues that are associated with public charging networks. The analysis indicates that the electric vehicle market is well positioned for growth in the coming decade, driven by advancements in technology and supporting regulations. This is despite the facts that the market is now facing obstacles. In order to fully realize the potential of electric vehicles, it is vital to continue investing in charging infrastructure, both in private residences and in public areas. By overcoming these issues, we can make the ownership of electric vehicles more practical and accessible, thereby opening the way for a future that is more environmentally friendly, that is more sustainable. As we work toward a transportation system that is more environmentally friendly and sustainable, the findings of the study provide a clear direction for various stakeholders, including consumers, manufacturers, and legislators. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay informed about the latest trends, studies, and breakthroughs driving the future of sustainable transportation. Join our community and be a part of the EV revolution.